You want to keep this on?
Yeah, we're going to keep this on. We're recording right now. It's all good.
I didn't even know that.
It's all good.
I'm gonna go ahead and play on the phone there.
They don't mind. They don't mind. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and play. We'll wait. We'll wait, George. Don't worry about us over here. We'll wait. All right, guys.
We're back.
We're gonna do the first podcast. Is it the first podcast of 2018?
First podcast ever.
Well, no, because you put some in there.
Yeah, I threw something out. But that was. But you're right. That was 2017. So this is the first podcast of 2018.
Yeah. So don't judge us.
Please.
You know, we have my dictionary of words only goes past Dover High School.
It's funny you say that because mine's just past. He's riding. And there's a little bit of rival there too. So
there is D-High, you know.
Come on, everyone wants to be a rider.
Yeah. So to start things off, we just want to introduce ourselves. Most of you may know me. Some of you don't. My name is Chad Messina. I'm an athlete here at CrossFit Dover, and I've been doing what has it been 4 or 5 years? I can't even keep track.
Yeah, it's been
about 4 or 5 years since we stepped into this, and
actually, no, it's been 5 because we've been here 5 years.
Oh yeah, and I started right when
that's when you started the crack of it, man.
Look at that. Yeah. So I am a DJ. I own a DJ company. I've been doing that for since high school, but professionally for 10 years now. This year's our 10th year. And then my main bread is plumbing, electrical, and HVAC. My father owns a company, so that's what I do during the daytime. So if you see me out there grinding, sweating, freezing, come give me a coffee, an ice pack, water, something. We do custom homes out. Little shout out to Messina Plumbing and Electric. I'm not a plumber. I'm not an HVAC tech. I am an electrician. Let's get that thing straight. All right. So enough about me. Some people that are new here don't know a whole lot about you. Maybe you want to tell them a little bit of something about you? Tell them your story?
Yeah, we can definitely do that. So I am Coach George Dobbins. I own CrossFit Dover and CrossFit 1806. And we kicked this thing off back in 2006. So
wow.
If you don't know, we've been kicking around for 11 years now. And within that time span, we opened CrossFit First State in Middletown. And then we offset that to Judd Dean and Melissa Dean. And then from there, shortly after that, it's been almost 5 years now, we cracked into CrossFit 1806. And that's been great thus far. But yeah, me, wow. Born in the Philippines, so I've been here since 91, which brought us here through the Air Force. A volcano erupted, Mount Pinatubo. So
wow.
We were quick evacuation.
Oh no.
And so it was real fast, man. Which brought us here.
How old were you when that happened?
Man, I was 9 years old, maybe.
Did you know right from there you wanted to do CrossFit?
Definitely not. I tell you,
running away, trying to do all the moves. And, man, I'm born for this. No, that's not a good way to put it. But
but it was definitely one of those like fight or flight situations.
Yeah.
With the whole evacuation, and I think some people can kind of associate that with CrossFit too. That's why there's such a large presence within the law enforcement, fire departments, and the military, because it's the same kind of fight or flight response. But no, back then I did not know. Actually, after graduating high school, I still didn't know.
Oh, wow.
What I'm saying?
Yeah,
so, yeah. Fortunate enough to have stumbled across it, and a friend of mine, Matt Nemsick, shared it with me, and from there, we haven't looked back. So.
Oh, wow. I know Matt Nemsick.
Yeah.
Good dude, man.
Matty.
Yeah. Funny how paths cross. All right, I guess enough about us, right? And we're going to get into this, right?
That's it, man.
Cool. So this title is The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
That's it, man. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Okay,
and, we're going to try to cover as much ground as we can.
Right,
within all 3 points.
Yeah.
We try to keep our timing somewhat conscious, so that folks can listen and
not get bored of it. And,
yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
So we'll probably roll for maybe 20 minutes, guys, and then from that point, wherever we're at, we'll cut it. If we need to continue it, we'll continue it.
Absolutely.
And plus, Chatty has to work out it in about 20 minutes.
Yeah. Speaking about bad, we got the fight going bad today. So
it is. Man. It's going to be a fight.
Are we still doing these Wednesdays?
The benchmark Wednesdays. Yeah, so that's good. We're gonna try to flow with that as long as we can, man. As long as it fits within what we're looking to do for the week and our programming, we're gonna keep it moving.
Nice, yeah, I like that. Cool. So So you want to start off on a good foot?
Yeah, we might as well start on a good foot before we kind of bring the bad. And
Absolutely. Let's
the ugly.
Yeah, let's start out on the good. So let's talk about the good of CrossFit.
So, you know what? I think we can all relate that there's a lot of good, because if not, we wouldn't be here doing what we're doing.
Absolutely.
I can tell you that a big piece of me enjoys the community, and everybody throws around community and 2 gyms, 1 community this, community that, and we're a team, and essentially, I don't know about you, Chad, but I didn't grow up playing a whole lot of team sports. As a matter of fact, that stopped when I got into high school. So my freshman year of high school, I played a little bit of basketball. I played a lot of basketball, a little bit of soccer. My sophomore year, cut it. No sports. Went right into working. At that point, I was bagging groceries at Food Lion. Goodness, man, those are the days.
Taking you back, huh?
Yeah, man. But so from that, the whole idea, and I think a big premise of what we do is being with a team and being able to do this with each other, and that is a big part of the good of what we have going on.
Right. Yeah, and the whole team thing. I grew up playing I think nothing but team sports. Into paintball. That's a team sport. It is.
I bet most people didn't realize that paintball is a real deal thing.
It is a real deal thing. We were good. And then baseball, soccer. Growing up, baseball was my main thing. But I started to I got out of baseball. I got out of my baseball career when I reached high school, because it was more. It was all about who you knew. And I felt some sort of way about that, and I knew what I could do myself, but no matter what I could do, somebody else was always ahead of me, because they knew that person's father, they knew, and that's how it is, man. It's all about who you know in life. That's exactly how you get how far you can get in life is, I feel, 90% of who you know. Because keeping a good personality, just being a good person can take you far as well, 100%. But so I got a little discouraged and got out of my whole. But CrossFit is awesome. It is a team sport. I love it. I wouldn't go anywhere else. I don't need to go anywhere else. This is what I love to do, and it's a sport that you can also work on individually, as well as team.
Absolutely. And it's funny you bring that the point of it's about like who you know, and that's what we look to create here within both gyms, is an atmosphere where you are plugged in with other people.
Yeah.
You have connection with other people. You create these bonds and these relationships, and in the event in which, hey, I need some help right now. Hey Johnny, I need your ear. Can you help me out? Right?
Yeah.
I got this on my mind. Or hey, I need to move some things around. So
anybody got a trailer?
Right. Exactly. So we talk about the community. We talk about just the team, but those are certainly points that bring some good about what we do. Right. And then on top of that, there's obviously the coaching, right? Mm-hmm. So the coaching that we as coaches proud ourselves on. We look to deliver just the best of us to all of you.
Right. Yeah.
And in doing so the coaching is definitely I would throw into the good pile of what it is we do.
And I'm sure you've seen a lot of people grow throughout this sport. Some may come and go, but most of the people who stick around You can be like, you came a long way. You know what I mean? Like, I remember when you were in here and you were discouraged, and and look at you now.
Yeah.
So you've got to feel good about yourself and what you do as well. Because I mean, one of the words I'm looking for here. See, this is what I'm talking about. It stops. Now, I was just actually, I got a little confused. My mind got somewhere else. So, you can actually, you're actually making people healthy. The longevity of their life. It's definitely something to be proud of.
Well, you know what? We talk about the community, the team atmosphere, and just that whole vibe. And then we talk about the coaching, and that's something that we pride ourselves on, and we look to deliver the best of. But you know what? A lot of people come into these gyms and they have different things going on within their lives.
Right.
So whether it's
absolutely.
Whether it's struggles at work, or whether it's struggles at home, or struggles in relationships, or they're just fighting depression, or they have just other things that are just weighing them down.
Yeah.
And so a part of the good is being able to come in and leave a lot of that at the door.
Right.
Leave it there, and focus on you. And with that, there's you walk in. You have a team. You have others here that can help you through that too. So, there's, I think that is such underrated. Because like, if we're not going through it, or if we're not going through those things, then we really don't think about it.
Right, absolutely.
You're probably working out next to somebody who is going through,
right,
some depression,
yeah,
who is going through some anxiety, who might be losing their job tomorrow, or maybe who just lost their job, or they may have a spouse or that is fighting a disease, and you just never know.
Yeah.
So coming in and just being a part of a team, and being able to just encourage one another and push one another and just be positive for that time being that you're in here can really just affect someone's life in which you don't even, you would never know.
Right.
And I can tell you, just because of being in the position that I'm in, there's a lot going on, and you know what? When I see a connection made, I'm like, that's it. That's these two are supposed to cross, right?
Yeah.
This is it. So
absolutely,
it's definitely there's such good about what we do, guys, and you may not see it, you may not hear it, but it's definitely around, and it's special. So,
and I feel, and this is getting into the bad or maybe the ugly, but you feel, I feel that I hear more bad in the I wouldn't say in the community, outside of this community.
Sure.
Everybody has their opinions, and we all know that what opinions are like. And everybody's entitled to their own, but I feel unless you have not experienced it, don't talk bad about it.
For sure.
You can't talk about how a car drives or rides if you've not test drove it.
For sure.
You just can't do it. There was a client that I recently referred here. And it's the famous words, "I don't know if I can do it." I don't. I'm not going to be able to keep up with everybody. The words that I have for him was just stay in your lane. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And until it comes a time where you want to start to have that competitive edge, then jump it up. But stay in your lane. Do what you can do, and that's how you don't make mistakes, get hurt, and just you can push your body to a certain limit, but don't overdo it.
Right.
At the end of the day.
Yeah. So we talk about just the ideal of the bad, right? So we kind of touched on the good. We've kind of ran into a little bit of the bad, and I can kind of chime in on that a little bit. There's, you're right. If and I think we all have friends that haven't experienced CrossFit before, and we may talk CrossFit, because what happens is, I guess they say you can tell a CrossFitter because that's all they do is talk about CrossFit, right?
yeah, absolutely.
But it's a good thing, because I feel like, if you're not passionate about it, if you're not in it, then your chances are you're not going to share it, you're not going to talk about it. And something as good as this, why keep it in? But if we're to go back into it, the bad of CrossFit, there's obviously bad coaching, right.
Correct.
So that's one. Everybody talks about the injuries, and that's the.
But then again, that can go back to bad coaching.
Yeah, I mean you're absolutely right, and let's not get it too twisted too, because you can have a really awesome coach like we have here, and
Absolutely.
then
coaches.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I'm referring to like our coaching team.
Right. Yep.
You can have like the best coach team, and a lot of times, when you're in the moment and you got adrenaline going, and you're looking to the person next to you, and you look at the person across from you, and you're hungry, and we end up maybe going too fast too soon, or we may end up doing too much, and we may end up find ourselves in a vulnerable position. Right? So we're talking about just the thought of like just bad form. So a lot of times you can take some of that bad that we hear about, and you can actually turn that around, because with the understanding that CrossFit is just like anything else, just like any other sport out there, it's sport. There's a certain level of risk that you take. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think we all know that.
Absolutely.
But with the mindset of, hey, I need to be able to walk before I crawl, mm-hmm. right?
Yep.
Or I need to be able to crawl before I walk, and just understand that this is a process that we're going through, that each of us are going through. It's a process. It's not going to be handed to us. Mm-hmm. And I think sometimes when we expect that it's to be handed to us, or we expect that, I should be lifting that weight, even though I'm not, I should be. So I'm gonna try it, or I'm gonna attempt it, or I should be doing that, or I should be doing this. And then before you know it, we find ourselves in a position of, just in a position of hurting ourselves. So a lot of times, it's, you said stay in your lane. You got to be able to trust the process, understand that, it is a progression, and
you can almost look at it as, and I see my man over here stretching, it's like, as old as he is, how old do you think he is?
I think Alex is just over 60.
Just over 60, and that's and
60 just over 60.
But see, older people know what they can do and know what they can't do. So he knows exactly what he can do, and he's in here at CrossFit. I think I've seen him all the time. I don't think he.
Yeah, he's definitely in there.
He's in here. So it's just not for, I don't know if I'm steering off the conversation, but it's just not for, the young, the fit. It's for everybody. People don't understand that, and it's hard to get that through. And the what ifs and all that just needs to go out the window. And it's like, it should be what's next. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What now?
Yeah, for sure. So if we talk about it, so we talk about the bad, and we talk about the coaching, and just understand, like, all of our coaches, everybody that's on the floor, they're across level 1 coach.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We have some across level 2 coaches, and then we have some that hold multiple certifications, and we pride ourselves on staying on top of what's current, and just being able to come together. As a matter of fact, we came together as this past week, and we had a coaches meeting, and we're talking about, hey, executing items that need to be addressed to make what we do better, right? So that's a good sign.
It is
of a good coaching team. Yeah. And from there, then we talk about just the ideal of staying in your lane, and be able to crawl before you walk, and understanding that everything that we do is progression, and again, you got to trust your coaches in order for you to be able to, or to steer you into that right direction. But then there's the other bad components, right? So what are the other, I guess, some of the other bad components that you normally hear? Whether it's I hear this all the time. Well, it's like a cult,
Oh yeah. I mean, that's,
you've heard that,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
You drink the Kool-Aid. You guys drink the Kool-Aid yet?
Yeah. You still hear that. I mean, honestly, that's the only thing that people are going to be able to talk about. You know what I mean? Because these are the people who've not experienced it.
For sure. Exactly.
And I go back to, if you haven't done it, then you can't talk about it. Right. If you haven't experienced it, then you need to experience it.
Right.
And then base your opinion on that. But back to the coaching staff, I can say that CrossFit do, and I don't venture too far out of the States much, and a lot of people here probably do, and they probably go to a lot of other CrossFit gyms. Just sitting in, and I went to one, and I'm not going to mention any names, but it wasn't around. It was close here. It was in another state, but the warm up, it just wasn't the same. You can tell the pride you guys take into the coaching and everything, the equipment, the cleanup. I mean, it's amazing what what you have done for this gym, and then set that bar, and all your coaches are just bar none. You know what I mean? You guys are awesome. So yeah, the ugly. I mean, honestly, we need to have someone come in here that's not in the gym and say, okay, what's the ugly? You know what I mean? Tell us the ugly. Colt, yeah, I hear that a lot, but honestly, I think it's getting much bigger than everybody realizes, and I don't think there's too much. Yeah. Once it peaked, everybody has their opinion. You always know that. Once something's doing good, they just try to bring you down.
Right. Sure.
And then once it levels out, everyone's like, oh, well, I'm kind of bored just going to the gym with my earphones in, and not having the motivation, and seeing me or somebody else on Facebook talk about the community, maybe take pictures of yourself, and man, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that's me, but in sense, I mean that's
Yeah. So we talked on the good, we talked on the bad, and we have 5 minutes before it's Mike on bad time. So we're going to kind of touch on the ugly a little bit, and you mentioned it, Chad. You mentioned the growth, and you know what? I think that has a little bit of ugliness in it too, and let me explain.
Absolutely.
So we started, back in 06, right? We started at a park. We started on a Saturday morning.
Wow.
At Silver Lake Park, running park workouts. And, I thought at the time that we'd have warm weather. So we started around the March time frame, and people were coming out in coats and hats and scarves and gloves, But then, you go into it, and if you look at CrossFit then, right when it first kind of hit the scene, there weren't competitions every weekend. There wasn't no CrossFit Games, there was no ESPN, there was no CrossFit Reebok. It was hey, people coming together, working out, pushing each other, and then let's go grab some breakfast afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Or hey, let's meet at so and so's house, and let's throw some food on the grill. Let's pop a couple cold ones. Let's relax, have a good time, and talk about life, right? And there's still a lot of that happening. And again, we try to within both of our gyms, CrossFit Dover, CrossFit 206, we try to keep those grassroots alive.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, and this is just me outside looking in. And again, guys, this is just my opinion. But with the growth of the sport that we're seeing, I mean, it's I don't know. And you're talking to an old head, right? Some say the godfather of CrossFit here in Delaware. But and I don't claim that, by the way.
but you can. But you can. I got the shirt, first in the state.
So with that, I have a different view, because now there's 20 other gyms in the state. Now there's not CrossFit Dover. Well, CrossFit Dover being the 87th affiliate. Now there's 14,000 other affiliates. But you look at it, and a lot of it is a lot of the ugly is the ideal and the thought of more is better. And I'm talking about on a programming standpoint, right? So that's one, because honestly, more isn't necessarily better, right? Better is better. So you don't need multiple 2-a-days for months straight. You don't need to do what someone else's programming might be doing, because they have different goals, because they're training at a CrossFit regional level, or they're training at the games level. So a lot of times we think more is better. So that, and Chad, I can go into this, right? So, but I'm gonna try to keep it brief. But
yeah, I think we need more time.
Yeah, I think
Man.
Because that is certainly definitely a little bit of the ugly, right?
Yeah.
Because that's when you hear about like some of the injuries, right?
Yeah.
That's when you take something like CrossFit and that we all seem to
Right.
find enjoyment in, to be so enjoyable, and now we put the pressures of having to perform at a certain level, having to keep up with X, Y, and Z, and all that negative energy just turns into stealing your joy, right? So again, another piece of the ugliness, but yeah, man, we can definitely go on and on about that.
So we're gonna wrap things up. We got a lot to talk about. Of course, we gotta we're gonna try to do this every week, right, George?
Yeah,
we're gonna do this every week.
Yeah, and hopefully we can come up with a name for this too. Right now we can call it Gymcast, Gymcast, and whatever else.
Yeah, we're just starting out, guys. We got this cool piece of equipment here. I am at no means a professional at what I do in this department. This is something we put together. So if the sound sounds kind of like crappy, I don't have any pop filters on these mics, so it's all a learning experience for us. So we apologize for any of the distortion or any of that. So
yeah, please be forgiving, and one thing
don't judge us.
Don't judge us. No. Hey, there's a Planet Fitness coming out, and that's one of the things. It's like judge-free zone. So, but anyways, don't judge us. And Chad, thank you, man.
Absolutely.
For doing this for us and for the community. I think it's definitely going to be a valuable asset for everybody to be able to kind of tune in and be able to enjoy and
hopefully we can bring in some maybe an athlete here and there, and maybe talk to them and bring them in here and see what they think and their experience was.
Yeah, for sure. The more the merrier, and but yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this first episode.
Yeah, and don't forget to sign up for the Better Than Yesterday Challenge.
That's it.
Popping off on January 15th. I don't even know what the day is, but that's the day my credit card's due, so that's how I knew that.
It's a Monday. Everything starts on a Monday.
Absolutely. All right, guys. We'll catch you later. I'm Chad Messina. George Dobbins right here, owner of CrossFit Dover in 1806. If you don't know, now you know.
Thank you, guys.